Well, now it's not going to work.
What?
I told you to beatbox.
I'm not going to beatbox.
Well, somebody has to beatbox.
I'll have to wake the baby up.
Okay. I'm Aaron.
I'm Tom.
And this is Baby's First Watch List, the podcast that loves to talk about movies.
That is not a sentence in the English language.
No, it's an Aca language.
It's an Aca sentence.
Today, we are discussing a movie released smack dab in the middle of our college years.
Seriously.
Like literally right in the middle.
This movie is
our college,
college years.
It's 2012's Pitch Perfect, which now I know is like perfect pitch.
Yeah.
That's clever.
But also like picture perfect.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Directed by Jason Moore, who like didn't really do anything else, and written by Kay Cannon, also known for creating the Netflix show Girl Boss, which lasted for one season.
I don't know what that show is.
Writing for 30 Rock and New Girl, and directing the John Cena vehicle Blockers, which actually was pretty funny. Like Baron Holtz is in it. Yeah, I've seen it.
I don't remember. I remember you wanting to see it, but I know I never saw it. So
Oh yeah, I've seen it. This hit musical comedy stars Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson, Adam Devine, Brittany Snow, and Adam Camp, but really is
Anna Camp?
What did I say?
I said Adam Camp.
I'm so tired. But it's really an ensemble. There's like a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks is, big.
John Michael Higgins.
Yeah, it's a big cast. And everybody does a lot of stuff.
Everybody does a lot of stuff.
You gotta be very versatile to be in Pitch Perfect, unless you're McLovin.
He does his thing.
But it wasn't much.
He's always cooking.
His whole thing is that he doesn't sing.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah.
So this is a Mean Girls type adaptation in that it was very loosely adapted from a nonfiction book.
I read that and I was like, that sounds familiar. And you're right, it's Mean Girls. That's
exactly
exactly
That was
it.
Queen Bees and Wannabes or something.
Yeah.
And then in this case, it's Pitch Perfect, The Quest for Collegiate Acapella Glory. And that's by Mickey Rapkin.
The quick, catchy title.
Yeah. He studied a couple of different acapella groups in colleges.
That's cool.
And one of them was the Beelzebubs, which actually did a nice stint on the Sing-Off.
What's the Sing-Off?
You don't know the Sing-Off?
No.
After the success of Pitch Perfect, the Sing-Off was a reality competition show with I think it was Josh. Was it? No, it was like Ben Folds, Sean Stockman, Boyz II Men, and I think Jewel or something played the judges, and I think Nick Lachey hosted, and it was an a cappella competition.
I had no idea this ever existed.
Do you know who came out of it?
Who?
Pentatonics.
Okay.
You do know them, right?
Yeah, of course.
They're like the only.
Yeah.
But the Beelzebubs
and the Trentones. Shout out TC&J.
Yes, but the Beelzebubs I think were on it. One of them.
Okay.
And they're a college one.
It's like the Jabberwockies and Quest crew of that.
Yes. Yeah, like literally. Also involved. This is really interesting. I wrote down this guy's entire filmography. The cinematographer is Julio Macat. I don't know if that's how you say his last name. Sorry if it's incorrect. So he was a cinematographer. Get ready.
Okay.
All 3 Home Alone movies.
Oh, he goes back.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. The Nutty Professor. And then a switch. A Walk to Remember. And then he does 2 wedding movies. These aren't all in a row. I kind of mixed a couple in. The Wedding Planner and Wedding Crashers. He did Cats and Dogs. Remember that one?
I saw it, yes.
Oof. He did Blended.
Sandler?
Yeah.
Was that the Sandler? Was that the other Sandler Barrymore one?
Yes, the third. He did Horrible Bosses 2.
The Sandler Barrymore trilogy is like Wedding Singer's Godfather 1, 50 First Dates is Godfather 2, Blended is Godfather
3. He did Horrible Bosses 2. He did Daddy's Home. He did Daddy's Home 2.
This is a prolific cinematographer.
And he did a movie that for some reason I remember very well, which is 2007's Because I Said So.
I don't know that movie.
Stars Diane Keaton and Mandy Moore.
Oh, man.
It got awful reviews. And in fact, on the Wikipedia page right at the top, it said, some critics called it the worst movie of the year.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's something.
So the music to Pitch Perfect is by Mark Killian, who does not have a Wikipedia page, and Jean-Christophe Beck, who also did the music for the Muppets movie and its sequel.
The 2016 or 14 one or whatever.
Like, Am I a Man or Am I a Muppet?
The Donald Glover one.
Is he in that?
Yes.
I'm thinking the Jason Segel and Amy Adams.
Yeah, no, well, I think we talked about it one time, and I think it was when Kaylee was on.
Yeah, and he was in it. Yeah. He also did Frozen and Frozen 2.
Oh, wow.
He did Ant-Man and its sequel.
He's a success.
WandaVision.
I mean, just Pitch Perfect and Frozen.
It's like crazy. WandaVision, Hawkeye. He did the music for Free Guy. And I thought this was kind of cool, too, because it stands out to me. He did the Hangover soundtrack.
Okay.
And the music in that was good. So it makes sense, though, because Pitch Perfect hinges on the music.
It has, yeah, of course.
So it makes sense that they would get, like, a prolific guy for that. But I had never heard of him. So when casting...
What's his name again?
Jean-Christophe Beck.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not just Beck, and I'm like, who's this guy? I don't think it is.
I don't think so either.
When casting, Anna Kendrick was the first choice for Becca, spelled in an awful way.
Beck is Beck David Hansen.
Becca, B-E-C-A.
Yeah, terrible.
I wish there was a second. I put it as 2 C's because I was like,
you're just
I'm just
refusing.
doing it. Which is rude. I shouldn't do that, but whatever. So a producer saw her in Up in the Air and liked her in that, which I really liked her in Up in the Air.
I remember liking it. I don't remember really anything about it. I would have to rewatch it. But I feel like it would hold up. I feel like it was a good movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is going to get into my discussion here. I did not like her in Pitch Perfect.
I don't know if it's her or if it's the role.
Doesn't matter.
The role sucks.
Not good.
I'll get into it, too, because, she's very mean to her dad.
Very mean to her dad. Very mean to her friends.
Well, her friends are
very mean to her boyfriend.
Her friends are all mean to each other. So I don't really...
Very mean to Kimmy Jin, her roommate.
Was she mean to Kimmy Jin? Kimmy Jin was mean to her.
She deserved it. Skylar Astin was cast as Jessie after producers were looking for a John Cusack type. I thought that was interesting.
I didn't really get Cusack from him, but it makes sense given
They wanted
role.
someone, too, who could be kind of like cute, but also goofy.
Okay.
So I thought that made sense.
He just looked like a better looking Ben Platt. I confused them at times.
Oh, yeah, Ben Platt's in this, too.
Yeah.
Some of the other cast members were looked at closely from previous roles, like obvious ones, like Rebel Wilson in Bridesmaids, Adam Devine in Workaholics.
Yep.
Anna Camp was previously in True Blood. And
that's an interesting cross. Like the other two make sense.
Yeah.
That one is
and I think she plays a very different character.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And the movie, this is cool. It was filmed at LSU in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, they gave them I don't have this in my trivia, but it's they gave them a whole they did a premiere there, and they gave everyone free admission.
That's neat.
And nobody showed up, but then when it was over, there was a line outside, so they did a second one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I say right here, it was a sleeper hit. It didn't do well at first, and then it didn't do bad, but it didn't. It didn't do super crazy, and then it really picked up.
Yeah.
So I say here I didn't even put an adjective because it's so normal. It's whatevs. With a runtime of 112 minutes. Because usually I put an adjective.
With a normal runtime.
Normal runtime. I mean, that's pretty good. I like 112 minutes. Pitch Perfect was released to positive reviews in early October 2012. What a time. 2012. And it was a sleeper hit, it's a lot of money. $115.4 million on a $17 million budget.
I was going to say, the budget couldn't have been too high. It was probably mostly licensing.
Yeah, definitely. This is cool. I like facts like this. The audience opening weekend was 81% female, which is crazy.
I buy that.
High. And 55% was under the age of 25.
Yeah, both of those make sense.
Makes sense. It's currently the third highest grossing musical comedy of all time. Do you want to guess number 1 and 2?
Third highest grossing musical comedy of all time. It's hard because I don't know. Are we going back?
I don't want to say exactly, but they're all since the new millennium.
Oh. Chicago doesn't count as a comedy, does it?
No.
I don't know.
Pitch Perfect 2
Oh,
and School of Rock.
okay. Yeah.
Some
I should have
note-
guessed Pitch Perfect too, because I have a thing where it's like the sequel almost always does better than the original, even if the movie's not as good as the original.
which Pitch Perfect 2 actually is pretty good.
I'm not saying, I just don't know.
Lana from
WWE.
WWE's in it.
Yeah.
And they like go and it's like
And
a
the
world.
Packers are in it.
It's a fun one
Right?
actually, and Haley Steinfeld's in it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Clay Matthews.
It's not bad at all actually. And there's a whole love story with Rebel Wilson and Adam Devine that's pretty funny.
That was in this, but kind of got cut.
Yeah.
And it was like improv. Like they just
Yeah, it's
just
good
made it
stuff.
up together.
I love that.
Yeah.
So obviously, Pitch Perfect, after doing so well, there were some notable awards and nominations. No Oscars. No,
Travesty.
No Golden Globes, which, it could have gotten a,
Yeah, I could have seen it at the Globes.
like an easy A kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no BAFTAs. Okay. But there were some MTV Movie Awards.
Oh,
in fact, there were
yes.
a lot. So it was nominated for a few, but it won for Best Musical Moment. I don't know what the moment is, though.
So when Anakin throws up.
I think that was what it was nominated for Best WTF Moment.
Or is it when the girl is doing the snow angel in the vomit
They call it
towards the end?
For the nomination, it didn't win. For Best WTF Moment, it said Anna Camp Aca-people.
Okay.
So I don't know.
It probably was that.
My guess is when she barfs.
Yeah, but she does it twice, and the second time she does it on purpose. So I'm sure it's
It's
the
that
first
one.
time. No, I think it's the first time.
Oh, the first time?
When she's actually doing
Oh,
acapella.
yeah, because it's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
And then it also was nominated for Best Female Performance
Rebel Wilson.
for Rebel
Yeah,
Wilson.
yeah, for sure.
It also, this is even kind of crazier. Although I just love like the fact that it was nominated for Best WTF Moment is just funny. And then it also was nominated for 18 Choice Awards, winning 4. Choice Movie Comedy, Choice Movie Actress Comedy, and there were 2 nominations for that.
Kendrick and Wilson.
And guess who won?
Wilson.
Yes. Choice Movie Actor Comedy for Skylar Astin, and Choice Movie Villain for Adam Devine.
Oh my
Out of
God.
all the movie villains
He
in the
is
year
the-
2012,
he's
Adam
great in this.
Devine was the number one.
Wasn't Dark Knight
I
Rises
think Dark
2012?
Knight Rises came out in 2012.
Sorry, Bane. Sorry, Tom. Hardy.
It's all about Adam Devine. Bumper. Who left them to go, what was it? Do something with John Mayer?
Background singer
Background
for John
singer
Mayer.
for John Mayer. So the song Cups became a big hit. It's a cover song where Anna Kendrick's character like takes a little plastic cup and makes a noise.
Basically
and
beatboxes
sings.
with a cup.
Yeah, I think that's a technical way to say it.
Yeah.
And it was released to radio and it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is crazy. It was huge.
I don't remember it really.
Oh yeah. And then it they bring in music later on in the song. Yeah.
I mean, I
it's
know
whole
the song,
thing.
but I don't remember it being huge when
It was
we were in
it was
college.
everywhere. And in fact, an interesting fact here, the 2015 Miss America winner sang the song Happy in the Cups style for her talent.
That wasn't the Steve Harvey mess up year, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
And that was Miss Universe.
Oh, you said Miss America.
Yes. And Miss Universe isn't even from if you win Miss America, it's Miss America. You're
Right,
done.
right,
It's
right.
Miss USA goes to Miss Universe.
So it's Miss USA is a separate thing from Miss America?
Yes.
Okay.
The difference really is Miss America scholarship program, talent, Miss USA
Yes.
is
Yes.
different.
Right.
Okay. There were 2 sequels released to Pitch Perfect, one in 2015 and another in 2017. The second one was directed by Elizabeth Banks. And
think I
all
knew that.
3 were written by Kay Cannon, which is cool. I like that. I like the
Yeah.
consistency there. And to me, like the tone, there's a very specific way that it's written, and I like it. And a TV show called Pitch Perfect: Bumper in Berlin was released on Peacock in November 2012, so pretty recently, and it was
2022.
renewed. 2022.
You said 2012.
Again, help. It was just renewed for a second season a few months ago in I think January 2023.
I read the reviews. They were mixed.
They were very mixed, but It's Bumper in Berlin.
Bumper. It's Bumper, baby.
That's what I got for Pitch Perfect. I like this movie. I saw it when it came out. I don't know if I saw it in theaters. It probably did. I think I did.
I didn't see it when it came out, but I like it. I knew we were gonna, when we recover. I've seen it before. It's great. Should I go into the plot summary?
Do it.
Okay, so we open at the 2011 ICCA finals at the Lincoln Center.
The Ickas.
The Ickas. Is that what they call it?
No.
Barden University's all-female a cappella group, the Barden Bellas, lose to their all-male rival group, the Treblemakers, due to junior member Aubrey Posen, played by Anna Camp, vomiting on stage in the middle of her solo during the song The Sign.
Blowing chunks.
4 months later, aspiring DJ Becca B.E.C.A. Mitchell, played by Anna Kendrick, is a freshman at Barden University at the insistence of her father, a professor at the university. Despite having no desire to attend college and instead spending her time making mashup mixes of songs. I mean, haven't we all?
And she also just loves eyeliner.
She does. In another dorm room, Jesse, played by Skylar Aston, is meeting his roommate Benji, played by Ben Platt, who is into Star Wars and magic.
Yeah.
Very into magic.
Yeah, he is.
Becca gets an internship at the school radio station where she gets to know Jesse, who happens to also have an internship there. At the university's activities fair, Becca is invited to join the Barden Bellas by seniors and current co-leaders Aubrey, who we met, and Chloe Beale, played by Brittany Snow, but Becca declines, saying that acapella is lame. We are also introduced to we are also introduced to the Treblemakers, who are talented and have a high opinion of themselves, especially their lead singer, Bumper, played by Adam Devine.
The best. Him and Fat Amy. Well, okay, that's a question. Okay.
Jesse and Benji approach the Trebles, as Benji is desperate to join, but Bumper is not impressed with his enthusiasm. Later, Chloe hears Becca singing in the shower. They sing Titanium together.
I am titanium. And she's like, David Guetta? And it's like, okay, this was the number one song. Can we not? With Becca is so cool. She does DJs.
Yeah.
David Guetta, the most famous.
It would be in 2015 and you were like, oh my God, do you know who the Chainsmokers are?
Yeah, it's just okay, Becca, shut up.
I wonder, are the Chainsmokers still putting stuff out?
Yeah, they had a very, they are. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, shout out the Chainsmokers.
No, don't shout them out.
Don't shout them out?
No.
Anti-shout out to the
Yeah,
Chainsmokers.
you don't need to shout them out.
Anyway, after they sing Titanium together, Chloe convinces Becca to audition for the Bellas. Although she shows up late for the audition, Chloe allows her to perform for them.
A song that was not.
Although she had not prepared Since You've Been Gone, which was the audition song.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Funny,
it's a great song.
Which is funny because at the end of the movie, we see that the winner gets to choose the next song. So that means the Treblemakers chose Since You've Been Gone.
That's actually a great point.
Becca auditions with a rendition of Cups, which we just spoke about, and it gets her into the Bellas, along with the tough Cynthia Rose Adams, the flirtatious Stacey Conrad. I didn't know most of these characters' names. The unusually quiet Lily Anakuramara, the bubbly Jessica Smith, the alto Ashley Jones, the comedic Fat Amy Hobart, played by Rebel Wilson, and the meek Denise. I don't know which of those characters were. I mean, I know by the descriptions of them, but I don't know the characters' names. I knew Lily.
I knew Fat Amy.
And Fat Amy, of course, Fat Amy. Who calls herself Fat Amy.
Yes.
Cut to the initiation of the new Trebles. Jesse has made it, but Benji has not. That night, there is Aca initiation, where all the groups come together for drinks and singing. Jesse is pleased to see Becca is in the Bellas, although she seems less than thrilled to be there, which is her in the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Amy and Bumper seem to share some chemistry despite insulting one another, and Aubrey looks unhappy that Becca is showing an interest in Jesse. The next day, Bella rehearsals begin. Aubrey has a very rigorous training schedule planned. She announces that one of the new Bellas has been kicked out for breaking the oath that you must not date a treble.
Mm-hmm.
She asks the rest of the girls to confess the same if necessary, and another Bella is kicked out.
Yeah.
Listen, Aubrey knows what she wants.
Yeah, she wants the trophy.
Yeah.
She wants the Aca
championship.
Yeah.
Rehearsals begin, and the girls are less than impressive.
They just do the same stuff.
Aubrey and Chloe have their work cut out for them. As the girls leave, Aubrey calls Becca over and warns her not to get involved with Jesse.
Just because he's a treble, not for any other reason.
Right. I don't think there's anything in this movie that would disqualify Jesse. Like, he's totally
Yeah,
fine. He's a nice guy.
He's actually, I think, a fun love interest with a personality.
I was thinking about that, and I did like him.
Yeah.
We've had our grudges with the love interests and
I
romantic
thought you
comedies.
would have hated him.
No, I like him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I mean, there's nothing. He's not like super dynamic, but
he's actually like a real character that's interesting and fun. And
I would watch this from his point of view. Like, I think
Yeah,
that he's a good enough character in
That's
that
cool.
way. And I think that's sort of my grading system. If I would want to watch a movie that they were the star of, like this movie from
I
his
like that
perspective,
idea.
then he's a good love interest.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
For example, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, don't care.
You don't care about Ian,
Eon, Mean Girls, don't care.
Aaron.
You know. So this one, I think I would have liked to seen it from the other end. The Bellas participate in the 2012 Ica regionals, where at Aubrey's insistence they performed the same medley involving The Sign that helped the Bellas advance to the finals the previous year.
We all love Ace of Base, but we got to switch it up.
They are not at all prepared, and they're cut short and told they won't be paid for the gig. Aubrey is furious, especially at Chloe, who then reveals, tragically, that she has nodes.
Yeah, she does.
The rubbing together of your vocal cords at above average rates and without proper lubrication.
Yep.
And she has to pull back on her singing.
Sad.
As time goes on, Jesse tries flirting with Becca at work, who seems like she is interested in him but trying not to be. He then approaches her on campus and wants to show her his favorite movies. Becca says she doesn't have time to watch the movies, as the Bellas are rehearsing all the time. Jesse asks if they're getting ready for the riff-off. Becca has no idea what that is, but soon finds out. The riff-off is a singing competition that pits the groups against one another with various song categories. Despite Becca impressing most of the Bellas, the other groups, and Jesse with her version of No Diggity, the trebles win the riff-off.
You're cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
No diggity.
Bumper goes nuts when they win the riff-off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's
a
it's a technicality. We don't care. It's a win. Win's a win, baby. Becca is encouraged by the other Bella's ability to listen to one another and sing together impromptu, but Aubrey brushes her off, upset that they lost.
Yeah, it was very impressive, especially because even like in 2012, No Diggity.
I was
who
gonna
knew
say-
all the
I was
words
gonna
to
say,
No Diggity. In
Let alone one
2012?
person, like 5 people knowing all
Let
the
alone
words.
all these white people.
Rebel Wilson.
Like random people. Yeah.
Australians.
Like an Australian Rebel Wilson.
Australian 28-year-old Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, actually, it would make sense for her being an older person. Not the character, actually, Rebel Wilson.
That's true.
In spite of their stale set list, the group manages to place second, sending them to the semifinals.
Yeah, they beat
second in the regionals. Yeah.
A sock puppet group.
Yes. After the competition, the Bellas try to break up a fight between the Treblemakers and the Tone Hangers, a male alumni a cappella group featuring actors such as Joe Latrulio and Donald Faison.
Yeah, great cameos.
Yeah. I don't know who the other guys were, but
I'm sure they're great.
yeah. Becca and Fat Amy accidentally smash a window with the Troublemakers trophy, alerting police who then arrest Becca. Jesse contacts Becca's dad to bail her out, causing a rift in her relationships with both for some reason.
So dumb. Like literally this thing, I was like, Becca, you are so annoying. Like Jesse did the right thing. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart. And
Yeah.
like Becca's dad is so cute.
Yeah.
Like he's so nice.
In the beginning, Becca's dad kind of comes in like he comes in a little hot, and you're like, okay, this guy's kind of annoying, but he's great.
He's just a dad, and
He's
he's
great.
nice.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna leave me like you left my mom?" And he's like, "Dude, we got divorced. Like, get over it."
Yeah, he's also
It's been
like
years. He's like remarried. Like, shut up.
he's also like this is a side plot. It goes nowhere. We know nothing about it. So.
Yeah, it's very strange. But I like him.
Yeah. Aubrey insists on performing the same exact medley a third time.
Aubrey is iconic.
Despite Becca urging them to be more daring. In the midst of their performance, Becca, hoping to reinvigorate the uninterested crowd, inserts an impromptu layering of the song Bulletproof into the set.
This time, maybe. That was cool. I like that part.
Aubrey angrily berates Becca for this and accuses her of hooking up with Jesse, a rule breach punishable by death, ejection from the Bellas.
Okay, but here's the thing. I kind of agree with Aubrey here.
Listen, eyes on the prize, baby. You got to win the trophy.
Well, here's the thing. You have to be a team player.
Yeah.
And Becca's just not being a team player. And
From
guess
day one.
what?
Well,
That's exactly it.
also,
Like,
Aubrey's not being a team player either.
Okay, Aubrey, let's face it. Aubrey's old school. She needs to freshen it up.
Aubrey's
We know
neurotic.
that. She's neurotic. And you could tell
She's
from that
traumatized.
little thing. She's traumatized for them, but also from her dad which she
Yeah.
says later on, like she's had a childhood where like you have to win, 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 and go,
Right.
go, go, and that. So I understand that some of her like choices are antiquated and whatever, but
Justice for
she
Aubrey.
believes in tradition and she really wants to strive for greatness. Becca is so annoying. She's a freshman coming in with the eyeliner and the I'm too cool for school attitude
And the David Guetta.
and she's like, I'm not doing that. That's dumb. I'm doing this. And then at the competition, she just throws something new in. Are you kidding?
Well, and to that point, all the other people were like, "What the like?
Yeah.
What are you doing?"
Yeah, and
Even
even
Fat
Fat
Amy.
Amy,
Yeah.
she was like, it was cool, but yeah, weird. So like, don't do it then.
Yeah,
Like, don't be silly.
Becca, just don't.
Just don't. But then
Um,
we probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't have won.
probably
Spoiler.
wouldn't have the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Becca gets mad and quits.
yeah, Becca quits. She snaps at Jesse and Aubrey.
Ugh, so annoying. Who actually got married and then divorced in real life.
Yes. Despite the judges and crowd enjoying Becca's improvisation, the Bellas do not advance to the finals due to their third place ranking behind the Troublemakers and the Footnotes.
Footnotes, yo, they slapped. They
Scandal.
were so fun.
However, Jesse's roommate Benji finds out that Footnotes leader Timothy is a high school student and reports it, disqualifying the Footnotes and allowing the Bellas to advance to the finals. This is like in dodgeball when they have the bear tranquilizer thing in the first round. With
No. Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Bench warmers.
Yeah. Oh my
When
god.
the guy
with the guy.
from the like, yeah, he's like a professional like baseball player
Yeah.
from the Dominican Republic.
He's like 35
and
years
he
old.
has a birth certificate that's
Yeah.
just like a piece of paper and it says I am 12.
Yeah. Isn't he like smoking cigarettes and stuff? Over spring break, Becca finally watches The Breakfast Club, which is one of the movies that Jesse was trying to get her to watch. They like watched the ending and she like wasn't really into it, but she watches it over spring break and she is moved to tears. After spring break, she tries to reconcile with Jesse, but he rejects her, accusing her of pushing away everyone who cares about her.
Good for him.
Yeah,
like
he's
that's
right.
true.
During the Bella's rehearsal, Chloe stands up against Aubrey, sparking a fight over the pitch pipe, which I actually did not explain at all to this point. But
It's just like it's like it goes
Yeah.
like so you get them note and it means that you're in charge.
yeah, so they fight
It's
over
like
it.
the conch shell
Yeah.
in Lord of the Flies.
Right. Becca then returns, apologizes to the Bellas for changing the set without Aubrey's permission during the semifinals,
That is good. She does apologize.
and asks to be given a second chance. After all of the Bellas have a heart-to-heart conversation, Becca rejoins the group, and Aubrey relinquishes her half of the leadership to Becca. Chloe discovers that after her spring break node removal surgery, she is able to sing bass notes.
Yeah,
Which-
she's like, oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, that could have been really stupid, but they did it in a way where it was like it was sort of understated.
Yes. Yes.
Like it could have been a really dumb thing that
and
they
it's
did.
just like a little bit in
Yeah.
the actual performance. I like it.
Meanwhile, Troublemakers leader Bumper leaves the group after being offered a job as a backup singer to John Mayer. With Bumper gone, Jesse persuades the Trebles to let Benji join the group in his place, a position he was obviously denied earlier.
Honestly, though, like again, like you're a freshman.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. At the finals, the Trebles perform strongly as always, with Benji finally getting his moment to shine with a solo. It is then the Bella's turn to perform, and they have ditched their drab flight attendant uniforms and are wearing their own clothes and look a lot more stylish, according to the person who wrote the summary. I mean, sure. The Bellas perform a modern piece arranged by Becca, which includes Don't You Forget About Me, featured in The Breakfast Club, one of Jesse's favorite movies.
Yeah, kind of ironic, right? More modern thing from a movie from the 80s.
Right.
You know.
The other songs were Price Tag by Jessie J.
Hate that song.
Give Me Everything by Pitbull.
No, I like that song.
Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
I mean, yeah.
and Turn the Beat Around by Gloria Estefan.
Which is also old.
Yes. This acts as a more effective apology to Jesse, and after the performance, the two kiss. Chloe's new ability to hit bass notes had contributed to a fuller, more dynamic sound in the Bella's performance, and so they narrowly defeat the Troublemakers and win the national championship.
Which is a choice.
What? Troublemakers were better? Oh, man. Controversy. 6 months later, we see the Bellas minus Chloe and Aubrey with a huge trophy on their table discussing which song to pick for the new auditions. They decide, and the credits roll.
Yeah. Good job.
Do we find out what it is in the second one?
No. I don't think so. That was very good, Tom. So I guess
I sort of mashed together two different plot summaries.
I
and
mean,
I got a
yeah.
little bit crossed up there, but whatever.
it was good. I think the first question is, do you think that the Barden Bellas deserve to win?
No, the Barden Bellas won because this is their movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Benji
I-
killed it with the solo.
Benji killed it with the solo for the Troublemakers, and also like
Very low effort from the Barden Bellas.
I took like special notice to be like, all right, I'm gonna like watch their choreography. I'm gonna watch whatever. A lot of the time, Tom, they're literally all just doing their own thing, like just all over the stage. Like no, there's no real choreography. They're all over the place. There's no like cohesion at all. There's no actual formations. So I'm just like, okay, maybe it sounded good vocally, but the performance was all over the place.
So does that necessarily matter? Like, what's the weight? What's the weight of the rubric here?
Okay, so here's my thing. If the Barden Bellas sang an A, okay, and the Troublemakers sang an A, and then the Bellas, their choreography was a D plus, and the Troublemakers was a B plus, then doesn't matter. I'm giving it to the Troublemakers.
Okay, that's fair. Well, the best performance in the entire movie is the footnotes.
Oh yeah,
It's by far. By far, they're by far the best.
Was that the Jackson 5?
I think so.
My baby, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was a hit.
That was really good.
Yeah, that one banged.
I was gonna ask what your favorite song performance was.
It was
the
that
whole
one.
thing.
It's the footnotes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, that's why it's great because like they're like, oh wow, these guys are amazing, and like they had to have the technicality to get them kicked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like those guys were great.
Yeah. What was your least favorite song performed?
The Sign. The third time.
I liked it though. Yeah, the third time.
I like it in the narrative.
I like it because she throws up and it's funny.
Yeah, the first time.
To me, it's Price Tag. I hate that song.
It's horrible. For me, it's the third time, and it accomplishes its purpose. That you're supposed to be like, oh, like I don't want to hear this song again.
And same with Turn the Beat Around.
Yeah.
Especially when they perform it at the frat and they get kicked
Oh,
out.
I didn't even mention that one. Yeah, that
No Diggity was good. I liked that, and I think the Party in the USA on the Bus was good.
Yeah,
that's fun. But yeah, overall, some of these song choices, I was just like, it's gonna be a no for me, dog. Even in 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say then instead of doing The Sign and Turn the Beat Around. Or, do you know what song I really like? I Got the Magic in Me. That was good. What would your 3-song set be if you were Aubrey or Bumper and creating a set list for your acapellas?
Well, I forgot to like actually prepare something for this, even though you gave it to me like 5 days ago. I'm actually just gonna give you 3 songs right here, and they're all actually from 2012 because I just looked up 2012 songs.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna do actually one of them may be from a little bit earlier. We're gonna do Nothing on Me by B.O.B.
Nothing on me, girl.
We're gonna do Call Me Maybe.
Yeah, Carly Rae.
And we're gonna do Mercy by Kanye West.
Why?
Because I feel like it's something that is like just totally 3 different areas of the world.
Okay.
Like not of the world, but like just 3. Why would these songs ever be put together?
Of the Billboard. It's 3 separate corners of the Billboard Hot 100.
Exactly. That's why you're my PR person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I was creating a set current day.
Actually, can I switch Mercy out with Diamonds by Rihanna?
Sure.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's perfect. Although that's also pop, so it's kind of like the Carly Rae.
But that's okay. It's different.
Okay. It's like an R&B
different vibe.
pop.
Different vibe.
All right. So if I were to create a set list for my Barden Bellas, it would be current day. I'm going with pop songstresses. And I really thought this out because I wanted to be like Becca. Becca's whole thing is about layering songs and doing mashups and stuff like that. So the first thing that I thought of
I wanted mine to be a mashup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
I didn't specify that.
That's fine, but
Yeah.
mine is like I actually thought about this answer.
Yeah, I thought about it, just less than you did.
Like 10 seconds. All right, so my first like centerpiece song I thought of was Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, so then I thought like, okay, but I want that to be like the centerpiece song because I want branches from it. And so then I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that Olivia Rodrigo had to pay a lot of people.
Yes.
And I found out that Deja Vu, she gives some song credit to Taylor Swift for Cruel Summer, which is like one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs, and it's really fun. So I'm thinking you go into you start with Cruel Summer, and then in the chorus part, you start intersplicing The Course of Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo. And then after that, you kind of transition into all of Deja Vu. But then when you say, like, do you get... And then for Deja Vu, you transition into Beyonce's Deja Vu.
Mm,
What do you think?
sure. I don't know Beyonce's Deja Vu.
Into something better to do. It's Deja Vu.
Oh, I didn't know that's what that song was called.
Yep. And
Oh, yeah.
Jay-Z's in it too. So
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
get a rap portion in.
Yeah.
Which apparently in Pitch Perfect they love to do.
Yeah, no diggity.
Yeah. So and Magic.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking for my set
And
list.
Give Me Everything.
Yeah. Oh, give me everything with Chloe's
Yes,
deep
yes.
voice. So yeah, that's my set list.
That's a
What do
good
you
one.
think?
That's a good set list.
Thank you. I really worked hard on that.
For Pitch
actually.
Perfect 2, I'll come up with a better one.
Okay. So if you were in an acapella group, which I kept getting mad because I'm like, why is it spelled wrong? Because is separate from capella,
Yeah.
which I didn't do it in my notes. What role would you want to play? Would you want to be the beatboxer? Would you want to be the deep bass? Would you want to be the person that sings the actual notes? Do you want to be the person that goes like da 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 da? That's
Our
our
baby
son's
would be
role.
good at that. Yes, yes. Well, obviously, I don't want to be the beatboxer because I refuse to do it at the beginning of the episode.
Unfair.
Actually, that is probably the one I would prefer to do. But just for the sake of staying in character, I would say probably I would want to be like the lower harmony
I like
in the
that.
background.
That's
I
perfect.
don't need to be the lead.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would want to be the commentators.
We'd be good commentators.
We would be. I mean, we would be fine.
So Roger Ebert in his review said, like, who were they commentating for?
It doesn't matter. That's the point. Probably nobody. That's the point.
Roger Ebert couldn't get past things like that about this movie.
I like to suspend reality in this case. Okay, so I wrote here Becca, and I said and Jesse, but I kind of don't think Jesse. Becca is actually, I put a big mean person.
Why would Jesse be?
I thought he was mean at first,
Nah.
but he's not. I think he was a little exasperated by Benji at first.
Becca is
that's
having an identity crisis, a Mrs. Nesbitt identity crisis.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to be here. She's doing it because her dad's gonna pay for her like DJing or whatever if she gives it the old college try, as they say. And she does not handle it well.
No.
I don't think that she's a bad person. I think that you get that when she comes back and she apologizes. And, you know, the stuff with Jesse, that was a nice, like, gesture by putting "Don't You Forget About Me" in the thing, knowing what that meant to him. So I think that she is annoying, and I think that she's not somebody who I would like to hang out with.
No.
But I don't think she's a bad person.
That's fair. I just don't like... I find her to be extremely unlikable in a movie with very likable people.
Yeah.
So speaking of, who's your favorite Barden Bella? That's actually very hard for me.
Okay, so the obvious answer is Fat Amy, because she's hilarious.
Fat Amy is so good.
But I think my favorite's Chloe.
Chloe, Brittany Snow's character, is so funny.
She's also very understated. Like, she's not over the top in this. Like I said with the stupid, like, bass thing, they could have made her voice sound so stupid and make it into this big thing in this whole moment, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just a little thing that, like, a little, like, twist.
Yeah.
Basically, with her nodes.
Yeah.
And, like, she was very genuine.
Yeah.
She's just likable. I love Brittany Snow. She's great.
She's great. John Tucker Must Die. What a good movie.
Didn't see it.
I'm sure it's not actually a good movie, but I liked it in middle school.
Yeah.
I think Aubrey's my favorite, Anna Camp's character.
Besides Becca, I think she's my least favorite.
She has a couple of things. The way that she says a few lines.
Yeah.
Including one that has a bad word in it, so I can't say it. It's very, very funny. And I just find her character I didn't like her at first, like the first couple times I watched it back in college, but now I find her character to be very endearing.
I think she's complex. I think she's one of the more complex characters. I just don't. When I'm watching this movie, she's the one that stops the fun.
Yeah. To me, Becca stops the fun so hard.
Well,
it's just like, oh my God.
But at least there's more than one song from Becca.
Like, Becca just, of course, the last one to sing on the bus.
Yeah.
Like Becca, just get it together.
Remember when Fat Amy forgot to get gas?
Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. Okay, Fat Amy is, I'm not joking, like an iconic character in comedy.
She's hilarious.
She is truly hilarious. Okay, I also put, which apparently you don't. I said, remember when Cups was the biggest song? LOL.
No,
That's so.
I truly don't.
random. What is your favorite scene in this whole movie?
This sprawling film.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Maybe the riff off.
Oh, that's a very classic scene.
Yeah, the riff off is great. It's also one of the few moments where you're like, okay, Becca's actually like, she's into it.
Yeah.
We're getting there. She's cool, even though she obviously pulls the rug right out after that.
Yeah.
But that's a moment where you kind of see. I also love the scene with Faison and Latrulio
That's
where they're
very
fighting,
funny.
and where Latrulio's like trying to get beat up, and he's like telling, is it Fat Amy to like kick him in the
Yeah.
stomach or whatever,
Yeah.
kick him in the ribs.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
I also like the bus scene.
yeah.
That's hilarious
When
when
Bumper-
throws a burrito at Fat Amy.
And it's like it explodes everywhere, and it's like she got shot and she's like bleeding out.
Yeah, it's so good.
Anything with Bumper.
Anything with Bumpers, so funny. And honestly, like,
I'm a big Adam Devine fan.
he's so good.
I feel like you either are or you aren't. And like he's in Righteous Gemstones with Edie Patterson and John Goodman and Danny McBride. And
I love the Edie Patterson first.
because I was leading up to Danny McBride, because what I wanted to say was that Danny McBride is very similar in that I feel like you either like him or you don't.
Yeah.
Like you're either like, I can't stand this guy, he's not funny, he's obnoxious, or I love this guy, he's funny, he's obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I feel Adam Devine's kind of the same way to me.
Yeah.
He was my least favorite on Workaholics of the three, though.
Yeah, but Bumper's so good.
Yeah, I actually loved Anders Holm. He was my favorite.
Okay.
And Blake Anderson's also great.
Nice.
But I only got like 2 or 3 seasons in before they took it off Netflix.
Mm.
So I haven't seen the whole thing.
One of the things that you, I also said who should have won the finals, and I think it's the Troublemakers personally. I also have here, you mentioned in your summary that Jesse is really into movies, and like in particular, he wants to score movies. That's like his.
That's an interesting. It's an interesting like perspective for a character to have.
Yeah.
It's not a common.
And it's not just like I like movies.
Right.
It's like he likes one particular aspect of it that he wants to go into a career with, which makes sense as to why he'd be into acapella
Yeah.
and work at the radio station. Like clearly he's someone who has goals and wants to achieve them, but this is what I like. But he's embracing college, Barden,
Yeah.
as opposed to Becca,
Yeah.
who has not the same aspirations, but similar in that she wants to work in the music industry, but she is kind of closed-minded towards going to college first. She wants to go right to LA and get an internship, which she does in later movies. I forget if it's in Pitch Perfect 2 or 3, but I think it's in 2.
I actually, not that she should have had that attitude, but I don't think that I think that there's merits to both of those approaches.
Oh yeah, no. I think that's
It was just her way of
I
going
don't
about
disagree.
it.
I just think she's annoying.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well then just do it then.
Yeah.
Like, then just do it.
Yeah. But she couldn't because her dad was paying for it.
Yeah. Blah,
Get a job.
Blah, blah, blah. And get a job. But I thought that little thing was cool. But what do you think are some of the best scored movies of all time?
I have a similar question here, which was that Jesse says the top 5 best scored movies are Jaws, E.T., Breakfast Club, Star Wars, and Rocky.
I mean, all are great, but dang, John Williams.
Yeah. Is that 3 with John Williams?
That's a
He
lot
was
with
E.T.
John
also?
Williams. Yeah, it was Spielberg, right?
Yeah. Obviously, he didn't do Rocky or Breakfast Club, but he did the other 3.
Mm-hmm. Rocky's a good one.
There's a lot of them that are like so classic that like it's hard for me to say that Star Wars isn't, because every piece in Star Wars. Jaws is iconic. Halloween is iconic.
Yes.
Then there's like all the Hans Zimmer stuff from the Dark Knight and Inception. Inception's really the big one, probably.
Time.
Yeah.
And then Donkey Konga.
It's 2 big ones.
It's a little inside joke.
Yes. Anyway, well, the thing I liked about Time is that it's overplayed now, but like the fact that it corresponded with the movie, shows how great, like, and how thoughtful that score was. Mm-hmm. It's like a piece of the movie.
We just watched Paris, Texas.
Yeah.
A movie from the 80s, and the score, I understand, and I think it was well done, but it was mad annoying to me.
The score was?
Yeah.
It was a little dated.
It was just like,
It was supposed to be Western.
But like very loud and
Yeah.
very kind of lethargic throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's
sort of
was
what the movie was.
purposeful choice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have made that choice.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple more. I'm looking at a list right now. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and then who stole it from him? Remember we watched something where like I was like, oh, that is the same thing.
Oh, it was we talked about it on here. I don't remember. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
One that I really loved from last year was The Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
It was Johnny Greenwood, from Radiohead. Is that what he's from? And it was frenetic. It was really uncomfortable. Yes, he's the lead guitarist and keyboardist from Radiohead.
Oh, The Shining had one that I was like.
The Shining score that movie is wild. We just watched. That was the first time I sat down and watched it start to finish.
Psycho's very similar with the violins.
Yeah, there's a ton of iconic ones. I mean, take your pick.
More recent, I love Theory of Everything, which isn't that recent now, but
yeah, no,
it's
almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, I love the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack from the.
Those are your
2000s.
college jams.
Those are my college vibes.
Yeah.
My college vibes. Okay, so you know how you can go on like Pandora or Spotify or whatever.
8 tracks.
I did 8 tracks.
Yeah, me too.
And it was like songs to cry yourself to sleep to. I always think I had one that I think April's annoying. I think Katie Moran took a picture of it, and I was like studying with this one playlist, and it was something like, it was like songs to scream cry to while holding your cat, using them as a towel or something. Those I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, perfect. This is great for my like poetry homework or whatever.
Exactly. Oh gosh.
My old English.
Yeah, it's
Middle English.
I either listen to like Bon Iver, like very indie, very folky, very the vibe, or like the Pride and Prejudice soundtrack, or Kesha.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was the party playlist.
Yeah.
It was like Kesha, Nicki Minaj, Lil Jon, LMFAO.
Turned Down for What?
Turned Down for What? And
the video directed by Best Director winners, The Daniels.
And then it would be like, okay, cool, now it's time to work, and I would put on Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah, right.
That kind of
right. Speaking of which, we just watched
Foxes.
We just watched The Bear, and that had a great use of Sufjan Stevens.
The Bear rocked. I loved that show.
It was good. Do you have any other questions?
That was it.
Okay, I have just a couple. What's the best movie song ever? Is it Don't You Forget About Me?
I honestly think it might be, Tom.
It might be. Because I haven't even seen that movie.
And you knew it at trivia.
And I knew it at trivia, and it was on my iPod.
I have some other options too, though, now that I think about it. Okay, I think Don't You Forget About Me is because the other ones that I'm going to mention, yes, they're from movies, but they also work on their own.
Yeah.
Like, to me, if you hear the beginning of Don't You Forget About Me, it's from The Breakfast Club. It's always like, that's a Breakfast Club song.
And I agree with that, even though, like I said, I haven't seen The Breakfast Club.
Right.
I knew it was from The Breakfast Club, and it was on my iPod. I told, it was on my playlist since I was like 18 years old.
Because I think I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston from The Bodyguard, is one of the best songs. But you think of that as a Whitney Houston song. Right. Even though it was a Dolly Parton song first, whatever. And you don't think of it as from The Bodyguard. Right. Shake Your Tail Feather.
Yes.
Nelly.
Bad Boys 2.
It's from Bad Boys 2. One of the best songs ever made. Yes. But you don't think of it as Bad Boys 2.
Diddy, Murphy, Lee, and Nelly.
Yeah, exactly.
How you love that.
How you love that.
What about Lose Yourself?
That's a good one. But again, that's like a pump up song. I don't necessarily think of it as 8 Mile all the time.
Okay. Even though it like describes the plot of 8 Mile?
Yeah. I don't think that matters. How about My Heart Will Go On? Yeah. Titanic.
That works in many they people on YouTube do that for like sports moments where it's like they just put it over like the game-winning field goal.
Yeah. It's just an iconic song.
Yeah. Like I Have the Tiger.
I Have the Tiger, of course. I think of as from Rocky. So that one maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Danger Zone?
Yeah, Danger Zone's up there. Danger Zone's got to be up there.
Danger Zone is so iconic that they put it at the beginning of Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
It's the same.
And they didn't
opening
reuse
scene.
the other one.
The Take My Breath Away?
Take My Breath Away.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. What about Mrs. Robinson?
Yeah, that's iconic, actually.
Right?
That's a good one.
Ghostbusters?
Oh, wait, that's really good, too.
I'm just looking on Google right now.
Oh, shoot.
I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, remember?
Yeah, Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yep.
What about what about Men in Black?
Here come the men in black. The good guys dressed in black. Remember that, just in case we ever face to face and made contact. By me, MIB means what you think you saw, you didn't see. So,
Flashdance?
oh yeah, what a feeling. That's Irene Cara, R.I.P.
Moon River?
Oh yeah, that's from
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't tell you a single note from Moon River, but I know some of the rep to Men in Black.
I've got one that's probably in my top 5 to 10. Kiss from a Rose from Batman Forever.
Let's go in. Baby.
That's another one that works on its own. That actually has nothing to do with the movie.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't at all. It's great.
Doesn't matter
Shout
at
out
all.
Seal.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my question there.
I love that question. That was a really good one. And that's not just because we won trivia and we got every single...
All 20.
20 songs, including Scotty Doesn't Know from Eurotrip.
That was one of the easier ones for me. I knew
Me
that
too.
one.
I knew that immediately.
Let's see. Give me a couple songs that transport you back to this era. 2012.
2012?
College. We were juniors in college.
I mean, to me, it's all about, you got your Clarity.
Yeah.
Zed.
Yeah.
Right?
TikTok was a little bit earlier.
TikTok from Ketchup, but
still
all
there.
of her stuff. Your Love Is My Drug.
Right.
Like Animal, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We Are Who We Are.
We are who we are. Yes.
Party Rock Anthem.
Yeah.
Like kind of like maybe the Oh My God Usher kind of stuff. Might be a little early.
Might be a little bit, yeah. We have We Are Young by Fun.
Yeah, because we had Funival.
Yeah.
So it was like a carnival where fun came to.
Glad You Came.
Oh, The Wanted.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
R.I.P.
The Wanted actually has a second song that was popular in the UK that's really catchy that sometimes Hannah Frankson plays on the Peloton rides, and it's much better than Glad You Came.
Yeah. Die Young is another Kesha.
I hear your heartbeat and the beat of the drum.
Oh, that was also the first year when Frank Ocean came out.
A potato flew around.
Yes. Classic Vine. I'm wide awake.
I'm wide awake. It was like the end of the Katy Perry era.
Oh man, bring it back.
Okay, yeah, sure. I like when people have hits.
And then the next year, 2013, which was like when we were ending that same school year, was like Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Yeah.
My Songs Know What You Did, Fall Out Boy. Blurred Lines.
Up. Oh, Blurred Lines.
Mirrors.
Oh yeah.
Best Song Ever.
And we dance all night.
Yeah. Roar by Katy Perry. Definitely reaching the tail end.
Pinnacle.
The tail end. Royals.
And we'll never be right. Wow, music was so good back then.
Yeah. And then we're missing like all the EDM stuff that is not coming up here, which is like you said, Clarity and like all like
Levels.
Swedish House Mafia stuff, all the Avicii stuff. Hey Brother.
Oh my god. Freaking what song was it? Stereo Love.
Stereo Love. That was before that. That was like 2009, 2010.
Don't You Worry Child was the biggest song.
Yes.
Was that Swedish House Mafia?
I think so.
Is that what their name is?
Swedish House Mafia?
Swedish Brothers?
The Swedish Brothers. Is that a Swedish accent? It was Don't You Worry Child?
Yeah.
Swedish House Mafia,
Don't you worry. When did that come out?
That was 2012, yeah.
Oh my god, man. That brings me back.
Yep.
Yo.
Yep. Oh, man. I was in so many places that smelled bad when I heard all these songs.
How about the song? So raise your glass if you are.
What about like Thrift Shop?
Oh yeah, I like that song. Only got $100 in my
Remember
pocket.
we went to Seattle and we went to the EMP museum? Is it EMP?
Yeah.
Museum, and it had like Jimi Hendrix, Nirvana, and like all that stuff. And then there was like a little section for Macklemore.
Well, yeah.
It was just funny because it's like nobody like people don't really like stand Macklemore anymore. I don't think.
I mean, I don't, but somebody might.
All right, that's all the questions I really have.
He just came out with a new album called Ben.
Wait, I have one more. During the Breakfast Club scene, Jesse is like mouthing the words at the end, to the final sequence. If you could show somebody one movie that hits you the hardest or that you know every word to, what would it be?
The Room.
Okay. But like you're going to sit there and like cry watching
Yeah.
You're Tearing Me Apart, Lisa.
Yeah. It's different.
I'm fed up with this world.
You know what? I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it here, so might as well make this statement. Every time I see The Room, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. We convince ourselves it's actually a good movie.
I am more and more convinced that it's actually a really thoughtful, well-made movie. That's, it's in the vein of your Tennessee Williams plays. It's very reminiscent of A Streetcar Named Desire.
It's like borderline plagiarism.
Very reminiscent.
What did we watch the other day that it was referencing? We watched something that it like straight up referenced.
Oh yeah. Oh, someone said You're Tearing Me Apart, right? But just didn't say Lisa.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that.
I forget what movie we were watching.
And it very much reminds me of like Offenses, where it's an adaptation of a play almost, even though it's not, but like it's meant to be like that, where you almost have this feeling of being in a theater watching like live people that are just alive doing it for you.
It's pure art.
It's pure art, and it's like baseline form. It's so well done.
I mean that unironically, yeah. Like I'm
love
not
The Room.
We're not like
I'm not making fun of anybody.
It is an experience. It's a great experience.
It's an experience. It's a bonding experience for people watching it.
There's a skeleton of a great movie in there.
There's
somewhere.
very much so, and I will make the argument that it is a great movie.
Okay.
Because the lines are iconic. You remember them.
April, we've done this enough. I'm not getting up again.
The performances are memorable,
including Chris -R.
You remember everybody's names. You know everybody's characters. You there's set pieces that are memorable. You know it takes place in San Francisco.
The red dress.
There's symbolism.
Yes.
That comes back. Yes, of course, you have to deal with the fact that one of the actors quit halfway through, and they just replaced him with some other random character.
Same character. Yeah.
Yes,
the same,
you have to deal with that. Yes, of course, there's a bit of there's a few clunky
clips, moments,
scenes that maybe
sequences
don't fit in thematically or tonally with the rest of the film.
Yes.
But
plot threads that are never addressed.
But again, that's part of the experience and the charm of it.
Yes. Mine, can I give you mine?
Yeah.
Mine would be Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping.
That's my other choice.
Or The Princess Bride.
These are Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping and The Room are among I'm not saying they're the best movies, but maybe they are. They're my favorite movies.
Princess Bride is up there with me with those two.
I don't rewatch a lot of movies often.
I've seen
maybe I'll see something like 10, 15 years later.
I've seen all three of those movies at least 5 times.
Yeah. I'm even taking Princess Bride out of it, which I love Princess Bride too, but
we got to rewatch it. We should do it for the podcast soon.
Yeah, sure. But Pop Star, Never Stop Never Stopping, which we're definitely doing for our 100th episode.
Yes.
And The Room. Yeah, probably the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right. So those are my questions. I had just I had trouble with this one.
Good.
As I was watching. What?
I like this movie. This is a good movie, but you don't need to have a lot to say about everything.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's what I wrote. I said I always love when Chris Mintz-Plasse pops up and stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
Love him in Role Models. Love him in This Is the End. Love him in Trolls.
Yeah, he is in Trolls. I love him in Superbad. I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
Oh, what is that one? I wrote just Adam Devine just cracks me up, which I talked about. I also wrote, remember that random mashup of Gangnam Style, Starships, and Black Betty that was on YouTube?
Yeah, I did. That was good, actually.
I'll link that in the description. Go check it out.
I
Great
actually
stuff.
loved that.
It's great stuff.
Gangnam Style. There you go.
That was a
And Starships. Oh my god.
that was a relic of the early 2010s too, just mashups in general. So it fit right in with this movie. I wrote that John Michael Higgins and Elizabeth Banks are such a great set of commentators, and they remind me so much of Jason Bateman and Gary Cole in Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Like the let's hope it pays off for him, Cotton, or whatever, like that stuff. But apparently it was a reference to Best in Show, which John Michael Higgins was in.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Best in Show.
It was Fred Willard, right? In Best in Show.
Yep.
That's what the direct reference was.
Literally, I was thinking it's very Best in Show to me.
I also wrote April. Oh my god, because she keeps scratching the door for you non-video watchers. She keeps scratching the door right next to me. Then I get up, I walk over, I open the door, and she walks into the middle of the room and acts like I haven't done anything, and acts like she's like, oh, I don't need to go out. So I'm taking 5 from you, April. The Joe Latrulio Donald Faison old man acapella group is so real for like a college, because like, in case you didn't know, I was in a fraternity in college, and there were guys that would show up at parties that were like 35, 40 years old.
Okay, now that I know it was kind of like lame even back then, right? Now is a man in his 30s.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
I could not imagine going back to like a mixer.
Could you? And they were married with kids, right? Some of them.
Well, one of the guys that would show up when he had our good friend Robbie would be at the door and be like, "Man, like, why are you here? You have like a baby seat in your car right now in the driveway. Like, what are you doing here?" Shout out Robbie.
Like,
Listen to Robbie's podcast, A Lot About Nothing.
What are we doing? Like, what? Why are you going to mixers?
Why are you going within 2 miles of this house?
Like, what's
he lived in, it doesn't matter. I'm saying he lived in Ewing, so that's why he was there all the time.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Go to the Peter Pan diner.
Yeah.
YouTube video.
Yeah, go to Slocum's.
Yeah, like literally go anywhere else.
Yeah. Also, the one quote I wrote down was from Bumper. Cisco live, best performance I've ever seen.
That's so good.
Rebel Wilson was 32 in this movie, playing like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Brittany Snow getting the deep voice reminds me of the Hey Arnold episode with Gerald.
That's good.
On Moonlight Bay.
Bay.
when he gets his tonsils out.
That's good
tonsils
stuff.
out, or is he doesn't have puberty, right?
I
He's too
mean,
young.
I don't know.
And then the last thing I wrote was Becca's dad is low key great. He just wants the best for her.
Yeah, he's a good dad.
He's even there at the acapella, like
He
even
is.
after she like ripped him or whatever.
He's a great dad.
Yeah, he's trying.
Becca needs to get it together.
Becca needs to get it together. Let's see. Ebert, 2 stars out of 4.
Disagree.
I've got two little.
He can't always be right,
sequences.
you guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is the exception that proves the rule. You know, he's almost always right.
And when I say this, I'm joking. He is always right. This is his opinion.
Yeah. Also, he's not wrong here with what he's saying. He says he just didn't like it. Right. One new recruit is Fat Amy, who Rebel Wilson, who explains she calls herself that because she knows that's what people call her behind her back. April's now scratching the closet.
It's like, I'll go anywhere. I don't care.
Rebel, her real name, plays a character so ebullient. Is that how you say that word?
Yeah, sure.
Unstoppable and raucous that she steals every scene she's in and passes the character name test. This refers to our ability to remember the names of a movie character for more than 10 minutes after the movie has ended.
So true.
Fat Amy, I will remember. Can you, even at this point in the review, recall who Chloe is? I can. I mean, I've seen this movie 3 times.
Tom, when you were doing the summary, I was like, I hope you say Brittany Snow's character's name again because I don't remember it. So
there you
actually,
go.
Ebert's
Roger
right.
Ebert, correct. He said, Anna Kendrick is adorable. A young version of the angelic Marissa Tomei.
What?
And it must be said that the Bellas are a first-rate group with choreography so crisp that Bob Fosse couldn't have drilled them to move more precisely.
I completely disagree. Like, completely.
You may be reminded of a Broadway musical. Certainly the choreography is way over the top of other championship a cappella teams on YouTube. And he was a little older, obviously, so he wrote U space tube. And if I mistake not, the soundtrack sneaks in some percussion and other stray sounds that might get the Bellas outlawed in a real a cappella competition.
Oh.
And that's all I have from Ebert.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of trivia. I'm pretty much done.
That's great.
During the riff-off, Esther Dean
Yep.
sings S&M, which was co-written by her.
Okay, I was about to say, Esther Dean actually is a very famous songwriter.
Brittany Snow said that Rebel Wilson improvised most of her lines and would go on 20-minute tangents that would have the whole cast and crew cracking up.
I love that.
These were the available categories for the riff off. So what were they like spinning? They were like doing them at random, right?
Yeah.
So the categories for the riff off were ladies of the 80s, black Michael Jackson, white Michael Jackson, Christian rock. Could you imagine the Christian rock
Just
segment?
do Dare You to Move by Switchfoot.
Hair bands, TV theme songs, reggae time, medium rock, the Judds, famous duets, overplayed the Black Eyed Peas, puppet songs Glee ruined, party rock anthems, and ugly lead singers.
That's very funny.
Those are.
That's
I like that
very
they
funny.
had all of them. I wonder if they
that's
had
good
like.
stuff.
I wonder if they had like outtakes or other
Yeah,
versions
that's
where
very
they
funny.
chose a different category. John Michael Higgins played a member of the Tone Rangers, an a cappella group in the movie The Breakup.
Really?
Yeah,
That was not a good movie.
I have not seen it, fortunately. Casting, I got 3. Similar to how the Bellas auditioned, all of the actors had to sing an audition song. Hannah Mae Kim sang a Korean folk song from her childhood.
That's cool.
And Rebel Wilson sang Edge of Glory.
I knew that.
Yeah. Upon seeing the title, Adam Devine thought that Pitch Perfect was a baseball movie. And so
Like Fever Pitch.
he wasn't prepared to sing a song at the audition. So the producers told him to sing any song, and he chose the Full House theme song. They were impressed, and he was like hired like pretty much right away.
That's awesome.
The role of Gail, which is Elizabeth Banks' character, was originally written for Kristen Wiig. But
That's about right.
She dropped out due to scheduling conflicts, and Amy Poehler was also considered.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth Banks was a producer, so she was like, "I'll just do it."
Yeah.
And she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very funny.
And it got her foot in the door to direct. Yeah. And she's directed a lot of stuff now, including Cocaine Bear
Yeah.
and Call Jane. We watched
No.
it.
Did she direct that? Oh, maybe
I
she
think she
directed
did.
it. She didn't write it. But yeah, she might have directed it.
Yeah, and she also directed the Power Rangers movie from a couple years ago. She's like low key a pretty like she has a lot of stuff she's directed.
Good job.
Yeah, good for you, Elizabeth Banks. It's funny because like I remember her from like 40-Year-Old Virgin
Yeah, all
and
that
like
kind of
those
stuff,
types
yeah.
of movies. Oh no, I'm sorry. She was in Power Rangers. She directed Charlie's Angels.
Right.
Yeah, and she did not direct Pitch Perfect 3.
No.
And she also did not direct Call Jane. I was wrong on that.
Oh, I was right. Yay.
Yeah, that was Phyllis Nagy.
Yeah. Who wrote Carol?
Yes. Yeah. So that's that. I think. I think
love
that's.
it.
I think that's all I've got on Pitch Perfect. Do you have anything else to add before we do our takeaways?
No.
Takeaways for the baby. First of all, does this make baby's first watch list?
Yeah.
Of course, right? That's
Of
I,
course.
I like almost didn't even ask because
Duh.
yeah, of course. So my takeaways.
Wait, what about me? You didn't ask mine.
Okay, what are your takeaways?
Um,
I thought I would just skip this part.
my takeaway is this. My takeaway is don't be afraid. I feel like all my takeaways do it. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And you may find lifelong friends.
Yeah, that's a good one. Did you prepare that one or you just made it up now?
Right off the tippy top.
I wrote, try to understand what it is that other people want and what makes them tick so you can be empathetic and connect with them. Because that's what heals the Barden Bellas. It's when Becca and Aubrey are finally like, they meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And most important,
compromise is good.
Most importantly, my piece of advice to my son: don't be mean to your dad.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's just there to help you.
Yeah. I swear, I'm not trying to do anything that's going to mess you up. You're going to see this eventually. So don't be mean to your dad. Maybe you were mean to me before you watched this. Don't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's Pitch Perfect.
Love it.
We are getting ready to announce our April movies.
Yeah.
There she is. And it's actually not a dog month.
It's 80s month.
We're going to do a little 80s month. So we're going to start next week with 1989's Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. I've never seen it.
I've seen it.
It's supposed to be like literally one of the best movies.
It's a good movie.
And, best modern movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to watch it. It's a blind spot for me. After that, the following week we're going to have Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1988. Also have not seen.
I have not seen that one. Robert Zemeckis.
Yep. Big Z, Bobby Z.
You got to do it to him, Bobby.
And then the following week, the third week of April, we are actually going to take a little spring break.
Thank God. I'm over it. I need a break. Just like a week. Just give me a week.
Great product to have when the person giving the product says, I'm over it.
Thank God I'm over it.
Yeah, so we're going to do that the third week of April. There's not going to be an episode, but the following week, we're going to come back with a poll. So stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram because we are going to do a Molly Ringwald off. John Hughes off. You're going to have 3 choices. You're going to have The Breakfast Club. You're going to have Pretty in Pink. You're going to have 16 Candles? ?
Yeah, but you did not put it in order at all.
No, I mean, those are the movies. I put it in alphabetical order. If you don't use the T. And so that's going to be what you guys get to decide on.
There's one obvious answer, you guys. I've seen all 3.
I've never seen any of them, so I'm
And the one that used to be my favorite, I now completely rescind that. Thank you very much.
Okay, so so that's our month. Please follow us on Instagram if you want to be involved in that poll. You could put comments on TikTok or whatever too. I don't really care.
It's gonna be banned anyways. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Just get your votes in before TikTok gets banned. So that's April, and this was Pitch Perfect. And next week is going to be Do the Right Thing. So we will see you guys then.
Aca, adios.
Aca later.